Okay, you're live. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Town of Rocky Hill Public Building Commission. Today, February 8th, 2021 at 5:32 p.m. Second item up is the approval of our draft minutes from our January 11th meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Gansey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bodwin. Do I have any, let's see, motion made and second. Do we have any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll roll call vote. Yay or nay, please. Mr. O'Connor,
Yay.
Mr. Bates,
Yay.
Mr. Marchand,
Yay.
Mr. Bodwin,
Yay.
Mr. Gansey,
Yay.
and Mr. Longo.
Yay.
Right, minutes are approved. Third item, public comment. We do not have anybody lined up for public comment. So we'll move on to number 4, which is our Community Senior Center project. Discussion updates from our owner's rep, Colliers. Go ahead, Matt.
Good evening, everybody. Certainly been a busy last couple months here on the project. A bunch going on. Let's see. On the FF&E side of things, we've got purchase orders issued for furniture and for the fitness equipment that we talked about last time. We've also just finalized proposals for the AV portion, and the networking and switching portion is about to be finalized. So we're doing well in keeping on track with FF&E. There is some ongoing coordination with the AV portion of that, with PAC and Colliers and HB, the AV contractor and installer. So that's ongoing, but we managed to work with the department heads and the contractors in the various areas to come back with a bit below our FF&E budget. So that's good. We're also, QAM just issued a package for a small redesign that they had been working with the subcommittee on for an existing condition that popped up. An existing brick wall that was not known to be there, was behind several walls. Former exterior brick wall, I should say. And so some reconfiguration of the nurse suite area occurred, and a structural package associated with that is moving forward ahead of the rest of it, but the architectural and MEP systems portion was just issued, and PAC will be jumping on that to put some pricing together. Let's see. Otherwise, from a budget standpoint, we're in pretty good shape at the moment. We're tracking quite a few items that are change orders, working with the subcommittee on those. But right now, we're seeing, we're projecting or showing beyond contingency and covered items about $160,000 under budget, which is good at this point. Obviously, we'll keep a very close eye on that, as we want to make sure that we, get through the last 6 months of this project, continuing to be under budget. From a schedule standpoint, we have had a couple hiccups, so there's been a little bit of a push in the schedule. Right now, PAC is showing that they'll be done, completed with construction in the middle of July. But we are working with them on finding strategies to pull that back in as much as possible. And I'm sure Paul can add a little bit more on the schedule side of things when we get to PAC's spot on the agenda. I don't know if you want me to take any questions now, or I can jump into that change order number 43.
Does anybody have any questions for Matt just regarding general, schedule and project update?
I guess the only question I have is, where did we end up with that revised issue with the brick wall? I know
In
there were
terms of,
several, the options. I know there were several options that were thrown out there.
sure. The most recent version, I don't know if I can kind of explain it verbally. Rocco may be able to help out with that visually, but essentially there was the brick wall will remain. The opening, the existing opening will remain as well. They're going to be adding a steel column and extending the existing lintel a little bit further to be able to create a slightly larger opening than was currently the pass through between the town hall side and the senior center side. And then they're going to be putting the bathroom side of it on I guess I'll call it closest to the senior center side of that brick wall. And then the remainder of the nurse suite will be on the town hall side of that brick wall. And they're going to be using, if you recall, in that entryway that was there previously, there was kind of like a trophy case or a display case. There's actually a lintel in the existing brick wall there that they're going to be utilizing and busting out the bottom of that brick to use as the pass through inside the nurse suite between the bathroom and the office side, I'll call it, of the nurse suite. I don't know if that helps.
It does.
Matt-
I can visualize some of it.
Yeah, Matt, I'll just jump in quick. I did give the rest of the committee the heads up on the different scenarios because the number
okay.
was tracking pretty high, and just to kind of keep them updated. But they are going to be removing the exterior wall and putting in the storefront. They just made modifications to that, but they're moving forward with that, and I think we found an economical way to appease everybody on that and keep things moving. So that's just the update.
Hey, Paul, while we're on the subject of the PR 43, as these new changes, architectural and mechanical, I know you've got to extend the plumbing a little bit, but if there's anything you see that can keep the cost to a minimum or less than minimum to maybe a no change order for the architectural side, just shifting a few things around, even if it's a suggestion outside of what the design is, if you could, share that with the architect back and forth a little bit to finalize it when now that you got the newest drawing.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, the current design is pretty efficient based off the base bid. It's really just extensions. So we are hoping to avoid any added costs there. But again, we just received the package, so still vetting it through.
Thank you.
All right, I can jump into 43 if no other questions.
Yeah, if you go ahead and I guess head on to change orders now.
Okay. So change request number 43 was in your packet. It was labeled V&D cabling scope, PR number 7R. Excuse me. This is essentially for structured cabling, floor rack, and patch panel as part of the networking system within the building. The total here is $35,667.80. QAM put together the proposal. We made a slight modification in reducing the number of drops and cables from the first version of it to drop the price down a little bit, and reviewed it in pretty significant detail with the subcommittee over the last couple of weeks, and got it down to $35,667.80. I don't know if anyone has any specific questions or had a chance to review it.
What brought this about, or what was the initiation of this?
We realized at one point that during the addendum period, QAM and RZ had pulled the cabling from the package in clarifying an RFI that came through during that bid period. And so that was obviously not the intent. It was to be incorporated into the project as part of PAC or whoever the contractor would have been at that time, scope of work. So this is pulling it back in.
Okay, so I guess at this point,
I mean, I could just,
Yeah.
just for the knowledge of the rest of the committee, I did do a complete takeoff on this. And I reviewed it with Paul from PAC. And we went back and forth, and currently the numbers as revised fall within the parameters of where I think the cost should be. So I have no issue with the COP.
yeah, Tom, I appreciate your due diligence on this one. So I guess at this point, before we get into, we'll get discussion going if there is any further after the motion is made. Do I have a motion?
I make the motion to approve
I have a motion made.
COP 43.
Motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Sal. Any discussion? Anybody have further discussion, questions? Any discussion? All right, hearing none, do a roll call vote. Mr. O'Connor,
Yay.
Mr. Bates,
Yay.
Mr. Marchand,
Yay.
Mr. Baldwin,
Yay.
Mr. Gansey,
Yay.
and Mr. Longo.
Yay.
All right, motion approved to approve change order number 40, change order request number 43. Right. Anything else for us, Matt, on change orders?
No, not on change orders at this time.
I don't think we have any in the pipeline that would be coming to this committee.
Not at the moment, no.
Let's hope not. All right, thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
The whole brick wall thing is it just kind of shows the importance of as-bills in a project and kind of due diligence at the beginning of a project. We pay a lot for feasibilities and all that, and at the end of the project having accurate as-bills. So, I remember when the new town hall was being built, they ran into that whole rotted beam thing. And again, that's something that probably could have been prevented during the feasibility or a more thorough investigation. But either way, it's, importance of the as-bills.
Good point, Steve. All right, moving on to discussion and updates from our architect, QA&M. Rocco, do you have anything extra to add to that?
I don't have much extra. I do have a screenshot if you want to see what the nurse's office looks like, Dave.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and, I think you can get that up there, right, John?
I can share. You see, we just moved the bathroom basically off of this wall and created a pass-through corridor, like a secondary entrance that'll wind up being under the existing canopy. And then instead of the concrete that's there now, what we're going to continue the metal panel that was along the top of the storefront wall. So, but yeah, PAC's progressing pretty well. We're almost 60% through the project, or we are 60% of the project, and I'll let Paul talk through the progress and the rest of the schedule. But everything's been going. Submittals have been good. They've been per specs and drawings, and I'm pretty happy with the way most of it's working out.
Yeah, Rocco, we appreciate QA&M's due diligence and the multiple drawings and whatnot for getting this nurse's suite underway. So I know we were looking at a couple options that were in excess of $100,000. So we found an economical way that moves things forward. So appreciate it. You have anything else for us, Rocco?
I don't really have anything else right now.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Rocco? All right.
Unpopular.
Yeah. Hey. Let's see. We have Pac with us as well. Paul, do you have anything that you'd like to add to the conversation tonight?
Yeah, I'll just give a quick update on schedule. I mean, ceiling and soffit assemblies are really starting to take shape on site. It's really pushing the MEP rough-in, making it the priority. Sprinkler heads are being dropped, bathroom walls are closing, or if not closed already. VAVs are being installed, light fixtures are being installed. So there is a major push on the MEP side of things. And we are pushing to start priming walls by week's end. And obviously following that comes ceiling grids. So there will be a major push on MEPs continuing through the next couple of weeks. We've discussed the next real major milestone on our end in PR4, which is that nurses area. We do plan on proceeding with the structural portions so we can open up work for the wheelchair lift and finalize that area as well. So you'll see this scope start moving middle of this week, stemming into next week. So we are proceeding with the structural, and we did receive the architectural changes. Again, trying to minimize any costs there, cost implications, and get it going. So that'd be my only update at this time.
Hey, Paul, before the ceilings go up, and I guess it's somewhat of a question for Rocco, can we get even a preliminary punch list of above ceiling? Has that even been considered? Is anybody doing that before you button up the ceilings? And then
the building department's given us permission. Well, will give us permission to close whatever areas we look to close. They've been phenomenal working with them. They actually have 2 scheduled site visits each week. I believe it's Monday and Wednesday where they walk with Kyle and sign off certain areas. So we'll continue to coordinate with the building department, and I'm sure QA&M and Colliers will have their notes and field reports for Kyle as well.
But again, I think we should push to Rocco, if you can get the engineer to kind of get a walkthrough. Not only is it just, you know, the town is looking at it from code compliance, I'm sure. It's also a matter of the documents being fulfilled. And that's only fair to PAC and the subcontractors so they don't get stuck with damaged tiles trying to go back after the fact. More of a suggestion than anything else, but I'd really like to see that if they could, maybe spend it on the same day. What days do the building inspectors come out, Paul?
I believe it's Monday and Wednesday mornings.
Maybe they can schedule it for this Wednesday, Rocco. Maybe you can get them to go out there. They're only across the street, right?
Yeah, they're only across the street. I know Derek's been there a couple times in the last few weeks. And we usually expect to see them, you know, get in there for the above ceiling stuff to at least walk around, look at it, make sure it's being done right.
That's gonna cut back on a great deal of punch list work too.
Yeah, if I can just piggyback on that, yeah, I think it's important that the design team does their review, you know, prior to and develop their punch list, if anything, of work. There's a difference of being code compliant and then being code compliant in accordance with the design. I mean, you know, you can do things according to code, but it may not have been as designed on the drawing. So I think it's important that, you know, your MEPs get in there along with your crew, Rocco, just to make sure that there's no outstanding issues that don't coincide with the documents prior to the building inspector getting in and doing his inspection.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, all field reports are accessible through Procore. So we do have them uploaded, and we'll keep that going just so they're, again, readily accessible for everyone to view.
Paul, just a suggestion, if you would shoot out an email to Matt and to Rocco making that request that the RZ come for a walkthrough, wouldn't hurt. You're on record.
No issue.
Thank you.
Anything further for Paul? No? All right. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. Next item up, correspondence and communications. John, do you have anything for us?
Nothing.
All right. simple enough. Moving on to bill payment recommendations. Looks like we've got 5 invoices here on our list to review and approve.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Collier's International invoice number 008242 in the amount of $9,275.
The motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bodwin. Do I have any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All right, hearing none. So a roll call vote. Mr. O'Connor,
Yay.
Mr. Bates,
Yay.
Mr. Marchand,
Yay.
Mr. Bodwin,
Yay.
Mr. Gansey,
Yay.
and Mr. Longo.
Yay.
All right, invoice approved. Go ahead, Sal.
I'd like to make a motion to approve QA&M invoice number 13177 in the amount of, with me, $9,572.68.
I have a motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bodwin. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none. Do a roll call vote. Mr. O'Connor,
Yay.
Mr. Bates,
Yay.
Mr. Marchand,
Yay.
Mr. Bodwin,
Yay.
Mr. Gansey,
Yay.
and Mr. Longo.
Yay.
All right, invoice approved.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Pack Group LLC invoice number 200-1708 in the amount of $690,898.09.
I have a motion made. Do I have a second? I think that
Second.
was a second by Tom.
Yep.
All right, any discussion? Any discussion? Discussion. Hearing none. Roll call vote. Mr. O'Connor,
Yay.
Mr. Bates,
Yay.
Mr. Marchand,
Yay.
Mr. Bodwin,
Yay.
Mr. Gansey,
Yay.
and Mr. Longo.
Yay.
All right, invoice approved. Got the next one, Sal?
Yeah, I'm going to make a motion, but then I've got questions on it. So
Yep, okay.
I'm going to make a motion to approve Sitescapes invoice 71012-010 in the amount of
Sal,
$3,068.
Sal, sorry, I don't mean to jump in, but that's a backup for the site furnishings for PAX.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
We're on to BVH.
Sorry. Sorry, wrong one. All right, I'm going to make a motion to approve BVH's invoice number 02119-183.00-9 in the amount of $18,511.10.
Don't believe that's the correct amount.
No, total this phase. I'm sorry. What the heck is this?
3,235.25.
Yeah, there's a couple of invoices. Hold on. Catch up on this.
Yeah, it's on the bottom of page 2, Sal.
Okay, $3,235.25.
All right, we have a motion made. Second by Mr. Bodwin. Roll call vote, please. Mr. O'Connor,
Yay.
Mr. Bates,
Yay.
Mr. Marchand,
Yay.
Mr. Bodwin,
Yay.
Mr. Gansey,
Yay.
Mr. Longo.
Yay.
All right. I guess I didn't call for discussion there. I apologize. Anybody had anything? We're already approved. All right.
I just want to ask about the, obviously we're getting the inspection reports from BVH on the adhesion tests. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, on to the last one, Sal. Looks like Eagle Environmental.
Yep. Make a motion to approve invoice 18702 from Eagle Environmental Inc. in the amount of $2,167.
Motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bodwin. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All right, hearing none. Mr. O'Connor,
Yay.
Mr. Bates,
Yay.
Mr. Marchand,
Yay.
Mr. Bodwin,
Yay.
Mr. Gansey,
Yay.
and Mr. Longo.
Yay.
All right, invoice approved. And with that, looks like we are at the end of our meeting. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Bodwin. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Marchand. All in favor, say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? All right. We are adjourned at 5:58 p.m. Have a good night,
I
everybody.
think we made a record, didn't we?
No, we didn't.
Not even
Have a
half.
good night.
Good night, everyone.